Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn Property Market Update, brought to you by Engel & Volker's Brandstow, Brooklyn. My name is Katriona, and of course I'm joined again today by Donald Brennan. How are you, Donald?
Pretty good, Katriona. Great kind of vibe last weekend. I just wanted to say, kind of out in the marketplace, it's a little hot here in Brooklyn, but over the last few days, weeks, actually, seems to be kind of a pickup in the tempo of all things. People looking to secure from studios to townhouses, kind of a renewed amount of interest and urgency, which is great to see.
Definitely. Lots of people out. Hot day to be walking the streets, though, I will be honest, but it was good. It's a good weekend. All right, let's cut to the chase and talk about last week's data. Let's start with the luxury market above 2.25 million, and let's talk about the new to market and the in-contract activity.
Sure thing. So luxury side, we had 28 new listings come to market, which were weighted mostly towards townhouses, and then in contract activity, 25 deals, which was significantly weighted in the townhouse asset type column. Below the 2.25 number, 88 new listings, new to market, and 93 deals going into contract. So both strong numbers, but just a little bit off pace of previous weeks, which were previous highs. Obviously there's always, as we know, seasonality here in our marketplace, kind of come into a transitional time of the year now here with a little bit movement to school year into summer, college kids returning, jobs, just kind of a shifting to different gears. So people either locking in, settling, or just kind of waiting to get through this period to make more the bigger decisions about buying and selling.
Definitely. And so for the townhouses, of course, we've had record in contract activity over the past 6 weeks. So is that affecting those sellers coming to market with townhouses in terms of the speed with which they might be doing that?
Yeah, you would think so. It doesn't quite look that way at the moment. But anyway, about the amount of activity of going into contract, 70 deals over the last 6 weeks in the luxury side going into contract. And that's the most active 6-week period in over 12 months now. So that was great to see that picking up like that. But not a commensurate kind of increase in new to market listings as well. But again, as we just mentioned, there's some seasonality here. People could just be hitting the pause button for a little bit. But if you were a seller thinking about it, especially in these price points that we've been talking about for months here now, high 2s, low 4s, townhouse, certain neighborhoods, you'd probably find buyers very quickly.
Definitely. So as you say, hopefully people are just prepping and waiting to come on, because to not take advantage of the current situation would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the below 2.25 million market and whether or not any of the data that we've seen over the past few weeks is still trending the same way.
So, one of the stronger asset types that we see getting picked up, the demand for, is in condo resales, and for the most part outpacing sponsor sales and co-ops and townhouses as well, out of 9 out of the last 10 weeks. So that is also good to see, because it wasn't that way in the early part of 2021. It's quite muted and tepid activity there. So there's some continued strength, which is holding at some very high numbers. We had 30 last week, and so that was pretty impressive.
Definitely. So let's end, as we normally do, on observations that we make as a result of being out in the market. And one of the ones I'd like to suggest we talk about today is this issue of buyers being asked to waive contingencies. When there's a property like a 3-bedroom apartment or an apartment with a flex office space or private outdoor space, and there's a ton of people looking at it and the offers are coming in, and the listing agent, bingo, says, yep, you're going to have to put an offer in, but guess what? No contingencies. So what do we say to the people that we work with when that subject comes up? And explain to people exactly what that means also, because some people won't necessarily understand the implications of that.
Yeah, so part of the custom here in our marketplace is not to make deals contingent like on inspections, which is typical in other states in the country. The custom here is to do an inspection prior to contract signing. So that kind of comes off the table as a contingency. And we strongly recommend to all our clients to do that, to have that knowledge in advance of anybody kind of devoting too much time to kind of pressing forward with a contract. So, there's a traditional financing contingency is one for sure, very prevalent at certain price points. And to be comfortable, removing that as a contingency, you got to be certainly quite sure of what you're getting into and have a plan B if necessary to fund the deal if you're going to need the debt eventually to carry the property. So there's ways to work around that. Anyway, the bottom line here is you need your own professional to work with you to understand what these risks may be. What does this price point mean? Is there support in the marketplace? If a lender's going to come out here and they're going to do an appraisal, is there enough evidence there that says this is okay? Not our call, obviously, it is the buyer's call in the end, but you should get it from an advisor working on your behalf. You should not be taking this information coming from the sell side agent and acting on it without really understanding what you're getting into. So, this is territory where you got to be super careful. There are ways to work around it. You just want to have somebody working for you on your side to make sure you're not overextending yourself and getting yourself in a situation that may be uncomfortable to get out of down the road.
Definitely. Or in a situation where you've tied yourself up with a property for X amount of time and then the whole thing just doesn't work out.
Yeah. So, yep. Again, our whole thing we hear preaching all the time, be knowledgeable, be informed, be ready, be capable, and act smartly. We are here to help you do that. Don't hesitate to reach out, lean on us. Happy to share everything we know about anything and everything out there in the marketplace. You need to ask the question though, okay? Don't hesitate to reach out. Absolutely.
That data is knowledge and that knowledge is power for sure. So that's it from us this week. We'll see you next week. And next week is, we'll be in June next week. Wow, that's a thought.
Still summer, I guess, official.
Bye, Donald.
Take care.